Let me ask you something. Why do some people earn average incomes, yet quietly build serious wealth, while others make six figures and still live paycheck to paycheck? It's not luck. It's not some secret investment, and it's definitely not working 18 hours a day. It's discipline. Today I'm going to show you something most people ignore. Wealth is not built by dramatic moves. It's built by small, consistent decisions that don't look impressive in the moment. No hype, no stress, no gambling. Just smart, controlled living. The truth is this: you don't need to be flashy to be financially free. In fact, the loudest lifestyles are often the most fragile. Quiet wealth is different. It's steady. It's intentional. It grows in the background while everyone else is chasing trends. In this talk, I'm going to break down 10 frugal living habits that build real wealth over time. These are practical. These are proven. And if you apply them consistently, your financial life will change without chaos or pressure. Let's get into it. Living below your means is the foundation of quiet wealth. It sounds simple, but very few people truly practice it. Most people try to look successful before they become successful. They upgrade their lifestyle the moment their income increases. Bigger house, new car, expensive habits. What they don't realize is that every upgrade creates pressure. Pressure to earn more. Pressure to maintain appearances. Pressure to keep up. When you live below your means, you remove that pressure. You create breathing room. That breathing room becomes power. It means your bills don't control you. Your job doesn't trap you. Emergencies don't destroy you. Instead of your money disappearing every month, a portion of it stays. And that staying power is where wealth begins. Living below your means is not about deprivation. It's about intention. It's choosing value over impulse. It's understanding that every dollar you don't spend becomes a worker for your future. While others are consuming their income, you are converting yours into ownership, investments, and security. The wealthy think differently about spending. They ask, does this improve my long-term position? If the answer is no, they pause. Not because they can't afford it, but because they respect what that money could become. This habit builds confidence. When you know you're consistently spending less than you earn, you feel in control. You're not hoping things work out. You're designing your financial life. Over time, the gap between what you earn and what you spend grows wider. That gap is not just savings, it's opportunity. It's leverage, it's freedom. Quiet wealth starts there. Not with a windfall, not with luck, but with the discipline to live on less than you make every single month. Automating your savings first changes everything because it removes emotion from the equation. Most people rely on willpower to save. They tell themselves they will set money aside at the end of the month. But at the end of the month, there is rarely anything left. Expenses expand, impulses win, and savings become optional. Wealth is never built on what is optional. When you automate your savings, you reverse the process. The moment income hits your account, a portion moves out automatically into savings or investments. You don't see it. You don't touch it. You don't debate it. It happens whether you feel disciplined that month or not. This creates consistency, and consistency is far more powerful than intensity. You don't need to save huge amounts to start. What matters is the system. A small, automated amount every month builds the habit. Over time, you increase it as your income grows. But the rule stays the same: you pay yourself first. Automation protects you from your own impulses. It eliminates the temptation to spend what should have been invested. It also removes decision fatigue. You're not negotiating with yourself every month about whether to save. The decision was already made. There is also a psychological shift that happens. When saving becomes automatic, you begin to see it as a non-negotiable bill. Just like rent, just like utilities. Except this bill benefits you. Quiet wealth grows in the background. It doesn't require constant effort. It requires structure. When your money moves automatically toward your future before it moves toward your lifestyle, you stop hoping to build wealth and start building it by design. Avoiding lifestyle inflation is one of the most underrated financial disciplines. When income rises, most people feel an immediate urge to upgrade everything around them. A better apartment, a newer car, more expensive restaurants, premium subscriptions. It feels justified because after all, they are earning more. But what often increases along with income is not wealth, it is obligation. Every upgrade raises your financial baseline. Your new normal becomes more expensive to maintain. And once expenses rise, they rarely go back down. What started as a reward quietly turns into pressure. Quiet wealth builders think differently. When their income increases, their lifestyle does not jump at the same speed. They may improve certain areas of their life thoughtfully, but they do not let expenses expand automatically. Instead, they capture the gap between the old lifestyle and the new income. That gap becomes investments. That gap becomes assets. That gap becomes freedom. The real power of income growth is not in spending more. It is in keeping more. When you resist lifestyle inflation, you accelerate your wealth without working extra hours. You are essentially giving yourself a raise in savings. Over time, those retained increases compound. What could have been a slightly nicer car payment becomes a growing portfolio. What could have been upgraded furniture becomes long-term security. There is nothing wrong with enjoying your progress. The key is balance and intention. Upgrade strategically, not emotionally. Increase comfort slowly, not impulsively. The goal is simple. Let your income grow faster than your expenses. When that gap widens year after year, wealth builds quietly in the background. Not flashy, not stressful, just steady and powerful. Buying assets instead of status is a mindset shift that separates consumers from wealth builders. Status purchases are designed to be seen. They signal success to other people. The problem is, most status items lose value the moment you buy them. Cars depreciate. Trendy gadgets become outdated. Designer labels go out of style. You spend thousands to impress people who are not thinking about your finances. Assets work differently. Assets are not about appearance. They are about ownership. They put money back into your pocket. They grow. They produce income. They appreciate over time. When you buy shares in strong companies, invest in real estate, build a business, or develop high-income skills, you are acquiring something that has the potential to increase your future cash flow. The wealthy ask a different question before spending. Instead of asking, "Will this make me look successful?" they ask, "Will this move me closer to financial independence?" This does not mean you never enjoy your money. It means you prioritize building the engine before decorating the car. When assets grow, they eventually fund the lifestyle you want without stress. Status bought too early creates pressure. Assets bought early create options. Every dollar has a direction. It can go toward consumption or ownership. One gives short-term excitement. The other builds long-term stability. Quiet wealth is built when ownership becomes more important than appearance. Over time, the returns from assets start to cover expenses. That is when money begins working harder than you do. And at that point, you no longer need to prove anything to anyone. Your financial position speaks for itself, quietly and confidently. Mastering delayed gratification is one of the strongest predictors of financial success. In a world built on instant access, this skill has become rare. You can order almost anything with a click. You can finance almost anything with a signature. The system encourages you to enjoy now and worry later. But wealth is built by people who reverse that pattern. Delayed gratification means choosing long-term gain over short-term pleasure. It means understanding that every impulsive purchase has an opportunity cost. That money could have been invested. It could have been saved. It could have been used to reduce debt. Instead of reacting to every desire, you pause. You evaluate. You decide with intention. This discipline compounds over time. When you delay upgrading your phone, you keep capital. When you postpone buying a luxury car, you preserve cash flow. When you wait before making large purchases, you give yourself time to think clearly rather than emotionally. Often, the desire fades. And if it does not, you make the purchase from a position of strength, not impulse. Delayed gratification also builds mental toughness. You train yourself to be comfortable without immediate rewards. That strength carries into investing. Markets fluctuate. Businesses take time to grow. Skills require patience to develop. People who expect instant results quit too early. Those who can wait win. Quiet wealth favors patience. It rewards those who can think in years instead of weeks. Every time you choose discipline over impulse, you strengthen your financial foundation. Over time, those small acts of restraint create significant advantages. Freedom is rarely created by what you consume today. It is created by what you are willing to postpone so that tomorrow becomes stronger, more stable, and fully under your control. Eliminating high-interest debt is one of the fastest ways to reclaim control of your financial life. Interest is powerful, but it works in two directions. When you invest, it builds momentum for you. When you carry high-interest debt, It quietly works against you every single day. Credit cards, payday loans, and high-interest personal loans are designed to keep you paying far more than you originally borrowed. The minimum payment creates an illusion of affordability, but in reality, it stretches repayment over years. You are not just paying for what you bought. You are paying for the time you stayed in debt. High-interest debt limits your options. It reduces your monthly cash flow. It adds stress. It forces you to make financial decisions from a place of pressure instead of strategy. Even a strong income can feel weak when a large portion of it goes toward interest. Quiet wealth builders treat high-interest debt as an emergency. Not something to manage casually, but something to remove aggressively. Every payment toward eliminating it creates an immediate return, because you are no longer losing money to interest. It is one of the few financial moves that guarantees progress. There is also a psychological shift that happens when debt decreases. You feel lighter, more confident, more focused. Instead of surviving month to month, you begin building forward. Debt itself is not always negative. Used wisely and strategically, it can help acquire assets. But high-interest consumer debt is different. It funds consumption while draining future income. When you eliminate it, you free up capital. That capital can be redirected towards savings, investments, and opportunities. Instead of paying for the past, you start building for the future. And that shift is where quiet wealth truly begins to accelerate. Tracking every dollar is not about obsession. It is about awareness. Most people think they understand where their money goes, but assumptions are rarely accurate. Small expenses repeated daily, weekly, and monthly quietly drain income without being noticed. When you track your money consistently, you replace guesswork with clarity. Clarity changes behavior. The moment you begin monitoring your spending, patterns appear. You see how much is going toward necessities. You see what is being spent on convenience. You notice subscriptions you barely use. You recognize emotional spending triggers. Without tracking, these leaks continue unnoticed. With tracking, you gain control. This habit is powerful because it brings intention into every financial decision. Instead of reacting to your bank balance at the end of the month, you guide it throughout the month. You decide where your money should go before it disappears. Tracking also strengthens discipline. When you know you will review your spending, you naturally think twice before unnecessary purchases. That pause alone can protect your savings. It is not about restricting yourself from everything. It is about aligning spending with your priorities. Wealth builders treat money like a business owner treats revenue. They review it. They analyze it. They adjust. They do not ignore it and hope for improvement. Over time, tracking reveals opportunities to increase your savings rate without increasing your income. You identify areas to optimize. You redirect waste toward investments. You create a system where every dollar has a purpose. Quiet wealth grows when money is managed deliberately. When you track every dollar, you shift from being passive with your finances to being proactive. And that shift transforms your financial trajectory in ways that are steady, measurable, and powerful. Focusing on long-term investing requires a shift in perspective. Most people approach investing with a short-term mindset. They look for quick wins, fast profits, and perfect timing. They react to headlines. They panic during downturns. They celebrate temporary spikes. This emotional cycle often leads to inconsistent results. Quiet wealth is built differently. It is built through consistency over years, not excitement over weeks. Long-term investing is about understanding that markets move in cycles, but the overall direction of strong assets tends to rise over time. Instead of trying to predict every movement, you commit to steady contributions. You invest regularly. You stay patient. You allow compounding to do the heavy lifting. Compounding is powerful because it rewards time more than intensity. Small, consistent investments grow not only from the money you contribute, but from the returns those contributions generate. Over time, those returns begin generating their own returns. What starts as slow progress eventually accelerates. This approach also reduces stress. When your strategy is long-term, daily market fluctuations matter less. You are not checking prices constantly. You are not reacting emotionally to short-term volatility. You are focused on the bigger picture. Long-term investors understand that time in the market is more reliable than trying to time the market. They prioritize diversification, discipline, and patience. They accept that downturns are part of the journey, not a reason to quit. Quiet wealth grows steadily when you allow your investments the time they need to mature. Instead of chasing the next trend, you build a foundation that compounds year after year. And in the end, that steady commitment often outperforms the loud, aggressive strategies that promise speed but rarely deliver stability. Building multiple income streams slowly is about strength, not speed. Many people hear the idea of multiple income streams and immediately think of overnight success, risky ventures, or trying to juggle too many things at once. That approach often leads to burnout and poor decisions. Quiet wealth is built with patience and structure. Relying on a single source of income creates vulnerability. If that source disappears, everything feels unstable. When you begin developing additional streams, even small ones, you reduce that risk. The goal is not to replace your primary income immediately. The goal is to layer income gradually. It might start with investing in dividend-paying assets. It could be building a skill that allows freelance work. It might be creating a small digital product or starting a side business that grows over time. At first, the income may seem insignificant, but consistency turns small streams into meaningful cash flow. The key is sustainability. Each additional stream should be manageable. It should not destroy your energy or distract you from your main responsibilities. When built carefully, extra income becomes reinforcement rather than pressure. Over time, these streams begin to work together. One covers small expenses, another funds investments, another gets reinvested into growth. This creates financial resilience. You are no longer dependent on one paycheck to survive. Multiple income streams also change your mindset. You begin to see opportunities where others see limitations. You think in terms of creation rather than consumption. Quiet wealth grows stronger when income is diversified. Slowly built streams may not look impressive at first, but they compound in stability. And stability is what allows wealth to grow without stress or panic. Protecting your capital is what allows wealth to survive long enough to grow. Many people focus entirely on earning and investing, but they overlook protection. Without protection, one unexpected event can undo years of disciplined progress. Life is unpredictable. Medical emergencies, job loss, economic downturns, accidents, or market crashes can happen without warning. If you are financially exposed, these events force you to liquidate investments, take on debt, or start over. Quiet wealth builders prepare for uncertainty before it arrives. An emergency fund is one of the strongest forms of financial protection. It creates a buffer between you and chaos. Instead of reacting in panic, you respond with stability. You do not have to sell investments at the worst possible time. You do not have to rely on high-interest debt to survive a temporary setback. Insurance plays a similar role. It may feel like an unnecessary expense when everything is going well, but its true value appears during crisis. Proper coverage protects your assets, your income, and your family from financial devastation. Risk management also applies to investing. Diversification protects against overexposure. Avoiding reckless speculation protects against permanent loss. Quiet wealth is not built by taking extreme risks. It is built by taking calculated, controlled risks. Protection may not feel exciting. It does not create dramatic gains, but it prevents dramatic losses. And avoiding major setbacks is just as important as achieving strong returns. When your foundation is secure, you can invest with confidence. You can take opportunities without fear of collapse. Wealth that is protected becomes resilient, and resilient wealth is what lasts across decades, not just seasons. As we close, I want you to understand something clearly. Wealth is not a mystery. It is not reserved for the lucky, the gifted, or the perfectly connected. It is built by people who make disciplined decisions consistently, especially when no one is watching. The habits we discussed today are not dramatic. They will not make headlines. They will not impress social media. But they will change your financial life if you commit to them. Living below your means creates margin. Automating savings builds consistency. Avoiding lifestyle inflation protects your progress. Buying assets shifts your focus from appearance to ownership. Delayed gratification strengthens your discipline. Eliminating high-interest debt frees your cash flow. Tracking your money builds awareness. Long-term investing harnesses compounding. Multiple income streams increase resilience. Protecting your capital ensures survival. None of these require luck. None of these require extreme stress. They require clarity, patience, and self-control. Quiet wealth is powerful because it grows silently. While others chase fast money, you build steady foundations. While others upgrade their lifestyle to match their income, you upgrade your balance sheet. Over time, That difference becomes massive. Years from now, people may look at your success and call you fortunate. They will not see the discipline behind it. They will not see the small choices made month after month. But you will know. Financial freedom is rarely created by one big decision. It is created by thousands of small, intelligent ones. So start where you are. Apply these principles consistently. Let time do its work. And remember, real wealth does not need to be loud. It needs to be lasting.